Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Jessica with her movie Prom Time. Let's take a look at the clip. Jessica, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on your film.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
We had a great night last night, but for those that haven't seen Prom Time, tell us a brief synopsis.
Sure. So Prom Time is basically about a mother who overhears her teen daughters recounting their dating experiences on the night of their prom, and she accidentally drugs herself with Chinese herbal medicine, sending her on a spiraling crazy journey and trip with the class hunk.
It's such a brilliant film, and it's so great to watch. I felt like I was being drugged on Chinese tea as well, watching it. The audience loved it last night. Where did your inspiration come from in creating this project?
Well, it came from a lot of different places. I would say the main ones are definitely just the idea that generational trauma, desire, and traits get passed down from family members through a long lineage. And I guess we really see that in terms of like the mom Judy's character, how she literally states like, my two twin daughters represent like two halves of me and traits that I don't like within myself. And another aspect would be just exploring interesting things about Chinese culture that I wanted to look more into, such as Chinese herbal medicine as well as face reading.
And I love that you took it from the mom's perspective, you know, because you know she was a high school student once, and it was nice to kind of see her take and her feelings and how she felt through the film as well. I honestly really believe that they were mother and two daughters. Like they were just the whole unity together was amazing. How was the casting process for you?
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I think they worked really well together as well. I was lucky to have a great cast. In terms of finding the lead, I did have a little bit of challenge with that since I actually did all the casting myself, and I really wanted to find a lead actress that not only embodied, you know, that type of, I guess, immigrant mother that's always hardworking and a little bit downtrodden by life, but still had like that youthful feeling to her of like, as you said, she was once young too, and she has desire, and we don't normally see that within these types of characters, you know, even the fact that they have sexuality and like more aspects to their being. So with finding Judy, luckily I was able to stumble across Leanne Leigh's work, and she's awesome. She's just such a talented actress, and I actually reached out to her directly on Facebook. So the power of social media.
Facebook, great way for casting. There you go. I love it. That's fantastic. And what I also love as well is actually one of my favorite scenes in it is the sort of this dream sequence, which was all the colors and how it looked and how you created that feel. Like how do you kind of embody that and kind of do that, and how do you work with as a director to kind of help your cast with sort of like those kind of scenes?
Yeah, the diner scene, that definitely was, you know, I would say like one of the most fun parts of the movie, and just creating that whole dreamlike atmosphere. I think it really started off with like the writing process, and I was kind of like doing a lot of different drafts, and that was like one of the challenging points in the fact that I really wanted it to be very surreal and very dreamlike, and I was kind of inspired by movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but you know, with a more limited budget. So what really helped was I worked with my DP to kind of sit down and really like hone in on exactly what I was going for in terms of like visuals, as well as like storyboarding the whole thing shot by shot. And we were able to actually shoot at a really great diner that took care of a lot of like, you know, the set dressing.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot.
Obviously, you wrote and directed this. What is it like when you've wrote something and then obviously you take that script and then you move it in and now you're directing this piece? Like, is that kind of a challenge? Do you kind of second guess yourself, or do you change things as you go along? How's that kind of process for you?
Personally, I've always written and directed my own work thus far, and I really enjoy both processes. I think it kind of helps me in the fact that I have like, you know, a strong vision as I'm writing the script itself, so I really know what I'm going for, and I try not to make too many like compromises, I guess, in terms of like the look and like the type of character and what I'm looking for. However, in terms of like working with talent and things like that, I have learned that, you know, sometimes it's a collaborative process. So you definitely have to kind of tweak and even learn things from your crew as well, cast and crew.
And obviously, it's when you work as a director and you have to create this family with 2 daughters, a mother, that family relationship. How do you work as a director? Do you kind of very hands-on? Do you rehearse? Like, what's your kind of process with kind of creating it? Because they really did feel like a family.
Oh, thank you. I think what helped was that we had a lot of rehearsals. I definitely like, you know, rehearsing with the actors, seeing what they feel the characters like and their take on everything. And actually, one of my actors that played May, Alice Sue, was able to help me find her sister, which was May, Megan Zhang, and they were actually friends, so they knew each other previously, so that definitely helped establish the familiarity.
With each other, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What would you say in making the film was your biggest challenge?
I think my biggest challenge would be just the fact that I didn't go to film school, so I don't really have like, I'm still building that community aspect of different, I guess, like filmmakers or people in the industry that I know and can reach out to. So I kind of feel like that was a bit of a challenge, just kind of taking on literally almost every role to find like my resources and producing it as well, which I enjoyed, but that's definitely something that I would like to kind of just grow my sense of community. And I think that also kind of fuels you as an indie creator, just to have like other people in the trenches with you that you can reach out to. And
well, welcome to New Filmmakers, because that's what we do all the time. And I think it's a great credit you say that, because great credit to you that, you know, I mean, this is obviously a big myth, you know, film school is great and it's wonderful. If you go, that's wonderful. But it doesn't mean if you don't go to film school that you can't do it, because look at you, you've made films and everyone's getting to experience it, which is great. What was it like then, you know, going through the process of you know, making a film and the journey that you go on to then have it at New Filmmakers LA on a big screen with the audience? What was that experience like for you?
Oh, that was amazing. It was just, you know, it's pretty much everything that you dream of when you make a film and you want to show it to an audience. And I really loved the program with New Filmmakers, just the fact that, you know, everything selected, you can really see that there's a theme that ties into it, and everyone was so talented, and I was able to network and meet other filmmakers, and yeah, it was a great experience.
Oh no, that's wonderful to hear. When you wrote this piece, was there something you wanted your audience to get from it as such? Was there kind of, because there is a nice essence of morality, you know, with the mom and the daughters, and the great essence of unity that comes at the end. Was there a kind of particular message you were kind of going for, wanted your audience to get from it, or you kind of just leaving it open for people to feel how they feel? There's
a message in the fact that I kind of wanted to invoke the idea that if you heal something within yourself, you're actually healing like your family lineage. With this film, you know, Judy was kind of able to place herself in the shoes of her daughters, and at the start of it, we see she's very controlling, a bit judgmental, and kind of just like has her own baggage that colors the way she sees her daughters. But after she was able to go on that crazy drug trip in a way, she sees, you know, like I can relate to the way my daughters are seeing how romantic relationships play out, and maybe the way I, you know, am raising them kind of colors what they're looking for in a partner. So I kind of just wanted to, I guess, get out a broad message of like, you know, taking care of oneself and one's own well-being, and that can actually affect others around you.
I love that. I love that. I definitely felt, you know, those elements. So that's wonderful. What is next for you?
So currently, I'm kind of just honing in on, I guess, like the foundations of directing. I'm taking a workshop with the Alliance of Women Directors.
Oh, friends of ours. Yep.
Yeah, that's a really great experience, and I'm doing that as well as kind of just, I have a few ideas and inspirations that I'm seeing what stays with me for my next project, and gearing up for hopefully a next short that I can expand into a feature.
I love it. I love it. Well, I asked this question last night, but just finally, what is a piece of advice that you've had, or maybe you go by as a filmmaker, that you could share with everybody?
I would say as a filmmaker, or even just a creative person in general, I would say that it's kind of important to, you know, have a well-rounded life. You know, being a filmmaker can definitely take up pretty much 90% of your time, and like you're chasing this crazy dream, which is very challenging, but at the same time, it's important to have, like, you know, a good support system, spend time with your loved ones, whoever they may be, and just enjoy life as much as possible.
We don't hear that very often in interviews, and it's such a very important thing to acknowledge. Well, thank you for Prom Time, Jessica. We loved your work. We want more films, so please keep making more for us.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica, everybody.